Yeah. Wake up with coffee and sports. Sunrise glow, listen coast to coast. A flow like you know.
Offensively, who made them? Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
Sideline to sideline with plays to show. This network's got the spark.
When you put up 300 yards rushing against someone, that you got your butt whooped.
I feel like I would have liked to see Oregon Ohio State in the semis, not the quarters. So I think some reseeding is probably where I would change. But
they're out of their mind. They're going to do this 3 quarterbacks in a row.
Here's the crazy.
I just can't take it.
First keep flying high, fans cheering loud, and one podcast moving through the crowd. Meaty boys brawling, no holds barred bout. This wire life never in doubt. Tune into the vibe.
That's my bold prediction for the show. Devin Booker in the next 3 years, he will be a Houston Rocket.
Because I still think Seth is still at the top of his game. I do. I think he's right there. Who knows? Maybe not this year, but one time soon. Why wouldn't we potentially see Seth and Roman?
Tune in the vibe. Warning Reds, good centers. Got me on the mic, now let's spill the tea. Talking courtside dreams from history. Legends on the blacktop now and then. From Wilt to Steph, we hit it again. Open it chimes in, let's go deep. Young bloods rising, can't skip a beat. Puppy prospects with fire in their eyes. Draft night suckers and hoop dream high. Wire to wire, bring the heat. Podcast magic can't be beat. Do better, but roll better. Or who cares? Trendsetters.
Hey, what's poppin', y'all? It is your boy, Guardy3, and welcome to a special Meaty Boys watch-along. And, of course, who better do a watch-along with my boy, ladies and gentlemen, he is Mo Betta. How you doing, Mo?
I'm doing great. Thursday night, getting ready to do the N1 podcast, chop up some hoops. More importantly, watch-along time. Bucks, Nuggets, Giannis, Joker. Let's go.
No, absolutely. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a fun game. You know, Bucks made some big moves at the trade deadline, and I think it bolstered them in some areas. We seem a little faster, more athletic. So I'll take that. They gave up some half-court offense to do it, so it's been a little bit of a struggle on that end. But this is the perfect team to really test how this new defense is going to look. The Nuggets are an elite offense. And this is almost feels like, you know, one of our first real big tests when it comes to, you know, how this new look defense is actually looks against elite offenses. So I think this will be fun.
Yeah, I think it's a good test for both teams because Denver's kind of a middle of the road defensive team. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do with the Bucks, the new look Bucks. And look, Denver's got to be able to adjust to things in game because obviously the last time they played a winning team against the Lakers, they struggled because the Lakers deployed a defense where they kept a man in front of him behind Joker. I have to believe that Doc Rivers saw that and said, we might try that a little bit too. Think about it. Brook is what, 7'1", 7'2" with long arms? If I can get Brook in front of him and Giannis behind him, what are you going to do?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how they guard Joker. We've seen a lot of guys start to go with the strategy that, you know, we've seen it before where you're going to put a smaller guy on him and then put your center behind him to, you know, protect the rim and cut off passing lanes.
Right.
You know, the Timberwolves did it effectively. We saw the Lakers do it, you know, just the last game. Teams like the 76ers have done it in the past. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how we defend this one and just how it plays out.
I'm looking to see, because I think they will kind of mix up their coverages on Joker. To me, when teams are going to play him that way, Jamal Murray's got to come out ultra aggressive. Like, he can't be the 19-point scoring Jamal Murray. On nights like that, they need 30, 35 point per games, Jamal Murray. He's got to be more aggressive.
I will say I've been impressed with, Jamal Murray. Ever since the All-Star break, something seemed to flip. I saw that he's up to around 25 a game since the All-Star break. So, $1 million question, is this the return to form of like playoff Jamal Murray, or is he on a hot streak and is he going to fall off again? I think he can be sustained. We've seen him sustain it, but only time will tell.
Agreed. He's playing really well. But if you're Mike Malone and the Nuggets, you need him to be playing at that level going into the postseason.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to see like the kind of the problematic in the Timberwolves series where Jokic would still, do well. He'd still find a way to get people open. They just weren't hitting the shots because he didn't have that second guy to help him. So, yeah, for the Nuggets' sake, let's hope that that's the Jamal Murray that they're getting for the rest of the year.
I'm excited to see what the Nuggets do in the West. Obviously, we're at the stage now in the NBA season where teams are really fighting for seeding, fighting for position. I think the Nuggets want to stay in the top four. They definitely don't want to be in the lower half of that top 8. I think they'll be top 3, top 4 when it's all said and done, barring any kind of injury. I think the Bucks are in a similar situation. I think the Bucks will be top 4 when the season ends, and then we'll see who their first round opponent is going to be.
Oh, absolutely! There we go. As the Bucks win the tip, let's get it. Here we go. Little screen and roll with Brook and Dame. Good take by Brook. Nice little finger roll there. Get the big man going downhill. Here we go. Oh, swing it. We're going to. Oh, wow. They're really getting physical with Jamal Murray up top. Oh, yeah. Oh, little floater. Yes, the Warriors won today. They are currently down 14 at halftime.
Who, Golden State?
Yep.
And they're playing
Orlando.
Okay, that's good. Orlando's looked a little shaky, but I still think Paolo, they've got Franz back. They're just getting their sea legs under them. I think once Orlando's fully healthy, they're going to make a strong playoff push.
That's a terrifying sight right there. The fact that Giannis has, mastered this little 20-footer, 15 to 20-footer, that's just a scary thought. Here we go. A little skip to the corner. Here we go. Porter Jr., corner 3. No good. Here comes Kuzma pushing the pace. Here we go. Swings it to Splash Mountain for 3. Yep, that's good. Splash Mountain is money. Here we go. Let's see how the Nuggets respond. Nope. Looks like they're going to try to go to Jokic. Okay. Oh, Brook fouls him on the line. Oh, man. Come on, Brook. We can't leave our feet there.
Yeah, that was a bad play.
All right. Well, Brooks is going to send Jokic to the line for 3. First one is up and good.
It's funny, after he fouled him, Joker patted him on the chest like, don't worry about it.
Got him with a little, got you. Here you go. Jokic with shot number 2 is up. Nothing but net. All righty. Hey, Freddie wants to know, Mo, who do you got winning this one?
I'm going to go with the Bucks. You know what? Let me rewind that. I think that if Jamal Murray is aggressive, I think the Nuggets will win. I think Jamal Murray is the key to this game. And I guess you could say the other way around. If Dame comes out and it's Jamal Murray and Dame putting on the show, I would definitely, if it's going to be back and forth, I'm going to always lean towards Dame. This is a tough one to call because you got the two guys that are in their peak, in Giannis and Joker, and then both have sidekicks like Dame and Jamal Murray. I would say the Nuggets might have the better starting five, but I don't think they're deeper.
No, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Giannis just messing around at this point, busted out the Dirk fade out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's feeling good.
Here we go. Aaron swings it back to Jokic, going to post up Kuzma. Yeah, he just lost the handle there. But yeah, I'm going Bucks too. I'm, I might be a little biased on that one. You're Denver tonight? Hey, fair enough. I'm always rooting for my Bucks. I live right outside of Milwaukee. Oh, Giannis swings it back to Brook. Oh, one more to Kuzma. 3-pointer is off. Say, Kuzma's going to get all those shots that he wants. He's just got to knock him down. What a pass by Jokic. And, Braun left it short. Oh, that was almost that was a beautiful pass. This is nice little bounce. Nice pass there from Giannis. Ooh, great drive by Prince. That's something that's always going to be available too. The Nuggets defense is going to be locked in on Giannis this entire game, so those backdoor cuts will be available on top of the shots.
Yeah, Prince has got to do more than just he's got to attack exactly. If they're gonna come out and close out on the 3-point shooters, guys like Prince can either beat the closeout or they can cut back door. So they got to be really aggressive.
Good hit, Kuzma. And we're getting an early timeout. It is 14-5, Milwaukee over Denver right now. See, I understand putting a smaller guy on like Giannis to try to bother him, but I think Christian Braun just might be too small. Like, I think you might, have to throw at least like Aaron Gordon on him or something. Somebody a little bigger than Braun.
I agree. So what they're trying to do with the strategy is that Christian Braun, they think is quicker than Giannis. But the problem I have with that is if Giannis catches it anywhere near the elbow, he can either turn and shoot over him or just back him down and get whatever he wants.
Yeah, and it's completely forcing the Nuggets, whole defense to just kind of shift that way, and the Bucks have taken advantage.
I thought Aaron Gordon would be their best defender on him.
He normally is. It's kind of shocking that, he's not the one on him.
And maybe Mike Malone is thinking, I don't want to risk Aaron Gordon getting early fouls because Giannis is great at drawing fouls. Maybe he's just saving them for a little later in the game.
No, absolutely. Mo, I asked a fun question on the Meaty Boys page. If we are talking about offensive talent, where would you rank Jason Tatum amongst his peers? And now, mind you, the spirit of the question, everybody's healthy. So we're ranking Tatum against a healthy Embiid, healthy Kawhi, healthy Zion. Just because I've gotten a lot of fun, interesting answers. I got some people say top 5. I've had top 10, top 15, top 20.
I have him top 6. I think he's a top 6 talent. I don't think look, so at the top, everybody at the best of their game, you're talking Joker, Giannis, there's SGA, there's Luka. That's 4 right there. You could go with Anthony Edwards, but I think people disrespect Tatum too much. How do I put ahead of Tatum when Tatum's 26 and he's done what he's done in his career? And he doesn't lack for talent. I think the most impressive aspect of Jason Tatum's game is he's actually a really good wing defender too. He doesn't play one side of the floor. So you can tell me that Anthony Edwards is more explosive and more talented, but being more talented doesn't make you a better player. I think Jason Tatum is as good a wing defender as far as a star player being as anybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's funny because everybody's kind of picking on him because he said he feels disrespected. And yet he's absolutely right in that regard because they had a segment on ESPN, and they're the ones who originally were kind of pushing this Tatum overrated narrative in all reality. But they were talking about SGA, and they're like, "Oh, who's his company?" And I forgot which one said it. They're like, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I'm like, wait a minute, Tatum's overrated, but SGA's drawing Michael comparisons? Like,
Yeah, they got to chill.
hold on.
They got to, and their games are completely different. I don't agree with that one. I don't see that.
No, like, I love SGA, and I think,
do too.
He's on a trajectory easily to be, an all-time great guard. Like, I don't doubt that, but like, what has he done to get into Michael Jordan comparisons? Braun missing another bunny.
That's crazy. That was a great pass by Jamal Murray. Dame with the pull-up.
Oh, here we go. One underrated part about Jamal Murray, he's actually a very big point guard. So, good hit by Brown. There we go. He can't hit layups, but he's money from three.
Okay, yeah. Imagine that. The funny thing about Braun is he's got hops. Normally he just bangs on people.
There we go. Yeah, that was the timeout. They wanted to get, Aaron Gordon back on Giannis. Oh, good take by Brook. Drawing the foul. Going to go to the line for 2.
That was an aggressive move by Brook Lopez. I think I like that strategy. You got to be aggressive and attack Joker sometimes so he can't just sit back and relax. You have to make him. And look, Joker's a capable defender, but you have to attack him. If you can take energy away from him on one end, it might affect him on the other end.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's why I really like Brook going to the basket. He can still shoot his threes, but I want to see more often than not. Let's, get downhill and attack the basket against this Nuggets.
I remember somebody saying Brook was slow, and I was like, you can say that, but I would argue, even though they're not on the same level as far as being players, he's every bit as quick and as athletic as Joker is.
Yeah, I'd say they both move it pretty much like they got cement on their feet, but they make up for it with a great skill and touch around the basket.
Facts.
There was our fearless leader, Doc Rivers, dump it to Jokic.
You guys got a big coaching staff. Man.
Oh, good take by MPJ. Porter Jr.'s balling tonight.
Yeah, anytime that you can get Michael Porter Jr. Attacking the basket and being more aggressive instead of just settling for jump shots is a good thing.
Speaking of settling for a jumper, okay.
There he goes.
Say Giannis getting into his. Oh my! Little too. Oh, okay, Giannis. Little too ambitious with that one. Turnover. Here comes Jamal Murray. Nice crossover. Good defense by Dame. Okay. Oh no! That's our ball though. Okay. Bucks ball. Great defense by Dame. He almost threw that one away, but here comes Russ.
Russ has had a good, solid season for them. Been very productive. Brings all the energy as usual. And at times, he's actually been pretty effective shooting the corner three.
No, absolutely. Got the Bucks with a sub of their own. Here comes AJ Green for Kyle Kuzma. Go, a little Giannis Dame screen and roll. There we go. I know Dame was upset he didn't get a call earlier, but he got that one.
I like that. Russ just got into the game and Dame attacked him. That's what you got to do. He's still cold. Legs aren't loose. Go right for the throat.
And the thing with Russ is, he's always going to be running 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Right.
And you can use that against him just like Dame did there. If you just stop on a dime, normally Russ just can't pull up that quickly. So, he just kind of stopped on a dime and Russ just ran right into him. All right, let's see if Dame can go 2 for 2 here. It's up and good. Here we go. We got Torian Prince on Jamal Murray. Here we go. Jokic Murray 2-man game. Oh, there's Russ making an impact. Nobody boxes him out. See, that's kind of another issue right now with the Milwaukee Bucks too. We're very good normally. It's weird, like we're one of the best, like in terms of like defensive, like rebounding percentage. We're actually like high up, normally grabbing, defensive rebounds, but we're actually pretty terrible at letting up offensive rebounds. So like high energy players like Russ are like nightmare fuel.
Definitely got to put a body on him.
Oh, it's going to kick it out to Brook. Little push shot. Oh, a little hard. Jokic kicks it to Aaron Gordon. Russell Westbrook, corner three. Good.
Yeah, Russ has been shooting the corner three really well this season, so good for him. I think that's how you sustain your career.
Ooh. All right. What a
nice pass.
That
was great ball movement. That was great ball movement.
Mm-hmm. I do love like how Brook will range from like looks like he's never thrown a pass in his life to all of a sudden dropping these really great passes. Such an adventure with him trying to pass the ball.
I think he's a pretty good passer when he needs to be.
Ooh. Good move by Jokic. Just absolutely killed Brook on that spin move. Oh, here we go. A double team? Here we go. Here comes Giannis. Gives it to Dame. Dame corner three. Oh, rims out. Oh, Aaron Gordon with the mismatch. For him, I'm just going right up with this. Yep. Oh, he missed. Oh, what a block by Giannis. Look at that.
Nice.
Gary Bird. Oh. Here we go. Yep. Bucket for Jokic. Good hit. Not a. What are we doing?
Wow.
This has been awful.
That was a crazy pass.
Oh, come on. Jokic loses it. Here we go. There we go. Okay. You know what? Needed that. Really needed that. Just ugly basketball right there by Milwaukee, but they were able to take the Jokic turnover and get an easy dunk out of it. Say Torian Prince just flushed it. It's a great take by Prince, too. He knew that his dunk was not getting contested. Okay, corner three, Aaron Gordon off. You know what? If you're Milwaukee, you're taking that all night.
All night. And I'm a big Aaron Gordon fan, but that's going to be the key to how deep a playoff run the Nuggets have. Aaron Gordon has to make shots because teams are going to give him those corner threes all day long.
No, absolutely. Russ is killing us. Here we go. Timeout Bucks. 1 point game.
Russ is all energy. He's coming out done. He's already impacted the game with his energy.
No, absolutely. No, he's crazy so far. I love to see it. So great start for Russ, and the Bucks are just going to have to do a lot better, and getting on them. Hey, welcome, Gene. Thanks for tuning in, sir. Here we go. Well, let's say. Yeah, say it's right now. I really like the Bucks defense so far. Actually, I think we've been doing well. We've just been kind of getting killed by at times just sloppy turnovers on offense and second chance points.
Oh,
So
I agree.
it's really just execution and energy that's killing us right now. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. I do love the start that Banchero got to today. There's a lot of talk about the Orlando Magic. Their offense has been atrocious since the All-Star break, but they picked it up. For the first half against the Warriors, and Warriors are coming back though. It's a 6-point game now.
That's that older veteran team slowing the game down, picking their spots. My guess is before the game is over, Jimmy Butler have shot 10 to 12 free throws.
So Jimmy Butler hasn't actually shot any yet. That's kind of shocking.
No free throw attempts by Jimmy Buckets. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we for the Orlando Magic right now, Paulo Banchero's going nuts. He has 26, 4 and 4 on 11 to 16 shooting. And we're not even at the 8-minute mark in the third quarter yet. So
I'm a big Paolo fan. If I have a criticism, I just think too many times he lets the defense off the hook by settling for jump shots. Like when he wants to go to the basket, nobody can stop him from going to the basket.
Half the time the problem is like if he remembers like how big he is, he'd be perfectly fine.
Right, correct.
Say Steph on the other side, 24 points, 8 to 12 shooting. So Steph is, getting into a rhythm. And the other guy the Magic are having trouble stopping, Quentin Post, the young center, 12 points on 5 of 5 shooting.
Wow.
Say, there's a lot of criticism right now on the Orlando Magic. This is a team that they tried to address their 3-point shooting issues by, adding KCP. They re-signed Gary Harris in the offseason, and it just hasn't worked. Everybody's shooting career lows pretty much from 3 in Orlando. So, and Brooke takes it up strong. Count it.
Nice, and one. I just think that Orlando, one of the problems they had last year was they didn't have a lot of shooting. And I think they thought they addressed it by some of the additions they made, but they haven't shot well. That's what's going to hurt them. They have guys that can attack the basket, can get to the rim, but in terms of shooting from behind the arc, they're one of the worst teams in the NBA.
It's funny because a lot of people are talking like, well, they need like a Trae Young. And I think the problem with Orlando isn't they need another, high volume, just high usage, player. They more so need a high volume 3-point shooter. Right. They don't need another guy who's going to dominate the ball. They need a guy who can, shoot 7, 8, 9 threes and hit them at like a 40% clip.
Right. They need a legitimate floor spacer.
Ooh, good pass by Brooke. Love it. Say, honestly, if I'm if I'm the Magic, I'm straight up looking at Malik Beasley real hard this offseason.
I'm looking at Malik Beasley. I'm looking at what Chicago may or may not do with Lonzo Ball.
Say,
even though they gave him an extension, people forget Lonzo's. I think that he still could potentially get traded. Look, if you look at the Bulls and look at their roster, they look like they're in some kind of mini rebuild because the only guy left from the core that they had is Vucevic, and they still got Kobe White, but I don't think you can build around Kobe White and Vucevic.
No. Ooh, Morris. Oh, come on. Well, there's that old energy thing we were just talking about. Ball gets tipped. Nobody except Christian Braun hustles to the ball.
Right.
Here we go. It looks like. And another turnover. Just sloppy execution by Milwaukee. Jokic floats one up and in. You know what? All right, just play smart. Just survive these last 40 seconds, and we don't. Good try, Brooke. That was never going to work, but you know what? Great try. Even he's smiling about it.
Right.
He wanted it, but you know what? Here we go. A little inbound Kuzma to Brooke. Gives it to Dame. Swings it to Gary Trent. Pull up three. Off. All right, come on. Say, oh, Russ wants Dame. Oh, nope. He's going to put Brooke in the pick and roll. Oh, they smoked another bunny.
Wow. That's like 5 layups they've missed.
Okay, you know what? I wasn't a fan of that, Kuzma shot. I don't think we needed the pull up right there. I think we could have, attacked the basket or, waited for somebody else in transition. 5
Right.
seconds is a lot of time.
Right. Pull the ball up and wait. Yep.
Oh, baby. Yes, sir. Dame time.
Nice.
Tied 30-30. Yeah, throwing up, Strother. I think that was just bad defense right there from Aaron Gordon. He's got to know Dame's just going to pull that if he gets that much space. Say, I know you don't want to foul him, but I don't think Aaron Gordon was tight enough on Dame for that one because that just looked a little too easy for him.
I agree. That was kind of lackadaisical. Still a good game, though, so far. Early into it, both teams have their moments. I hope the game stays with the same intensity throughout.
No, absolutely. Like I said, it's been a good one so far. I love to see it. Say, I was right before we hopped on here, I was on scrolling on X to see what was happening, and somebody an Orlando Magic fan posted was posting clips from Lakers Magic in the 2009 finals. I think it was game 3, and they're like, how did we not win this one, man? It was the game where Derek Fisher hit that, game tying 3 to send it to overtime.
Yes, I remember. How many big shots like that have Fisher hit though in the playoffs? It's crazy.
I will say, watching that series, the one thing I forgot, and granted, I don't think anybody's really paying attention to this guy, but I forgot how athletic Michael Petrus was, because he was throwing some stuff down. I'm like, what? Petrus had bunnies like that? Like, all right.
Yeah, Petrus had hops. Trevor Ariza was an underrated athlete. He had hops too.
Oh, speaking of hops, did you see that Shaedon Sharpe poster?
I did. That was vicious. That was vicious.
Yeah, that was absolutely, that was nuts. Just from where he just hopped to, cocking it all the way back and throwing down. Just absolutely fantastic there from Shaedon Sharpe. I'm excited to see the development of the Blazers. It's been fun so far.
I'm just wondering what they're going to do because they've got Scoot, they've got Shaedon Sharpe, they've got Simons. I'm just wondering what direction are they going with those young talented players. Like, you still got Ayton on there, and Ayton is still relatively young. What is he? 26, 27. I'm just trying to figure out what direction the Blazers, because I see the talent, and they've gone on a nice run over the past couple of weeks, but I'm just wondering what direction in terms of roster construction they need to do, because they have some really good talented players. I just don't know amongst those players that I see somebody that's a definitive star.
I think if Anthony Simons is available, I think the Magic should be first in line to pick him up.
Anybody that needs a bucket getter, yes, I think, and I honestly think that's his role. I'm not like if Orlando picked him up, not as a starter, he should be a sixth man. He's more in, like I said, he's more in that Lou Will, Jamal Murray, Malik Monk role. That I think that's a role that he would star in.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm not moved up in Sacramento with this whole Malik Monk starting point guard experience. Like, I'm already over that one. Like, get this man back to the bench. Start Markelle Fultz if you have to.
And look, I think Markelle Fultz, since he's come back, he's played some good basketball.
Oh, absolutely. And, all right, Julian Strother. Oh, here we go. Kevin Porter Jr. Exciting. Oh, Jericho! Oh, Jericho Sims is now missing bunnies.
That's crazy.
I wasn't really worried about, Oh. Good. Oh. Good offensive board. Just shoot the ball. I for some reason I've never been a big fan of when players sit there and take that long to shoot it, because I feel like after a certain point you're just overthinking it. Like he took one dribble, spun the ball. I was like, dude, just shoot it.
Right. Just be aggressive. Let it go. That's what Kuzma can do really good. When he's on the run, on the move, slashing to the basket, I think that's the thing that he excels at, his ability to attack.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There we go. Get down. That's what I want to see from him, like right there. I don't want to see you settling on the perimeter. Get downhill, be aggressive. Especially like right now when Giannis isn't on the floor, this is exactly what I want to see from him. Turn over Julian Strother. I always forget until I watch Nuggets games that DeAndre Jordan's still in the league.
He's still in the league. He's nowhere near the player that he was, but he's able to give, I guess, Joker spot minutes here and there.
Yeah, I always forget, and then all of a sudden they're playing, and I'm like, hey, look at that. It's DeAndre Jordan.
Right.
Oh. Go, here comes KPJ. Oh, he's a little out of control right now. Good. At least. Oh, yeah, Derry Bird. I got you. Hey, I was playing some college football earlier. Somebody box that man out. Say I'm working on my wide receiver in college football. Here you go. Get down. Good job. I love this version of Kyle Kuzma, the one that, doesn't settle. Just get aggressive, get downhill. He's been absolutely terrific tonight. I will say that Kyle Kuzma's Kyle Kuzma's the one guy that's just kind of winning me over when it comes to this, whole Chris Middleton trade. He's definitely winning me over with just how aggressive he's been.
He's played solid ball so far. And look, up until this point, you have to admit Porter Jr. has been better than advertised.
Yeah. He definitely has been better than advertised. Like I said, my challenge with Kevin Porter Jr. is I've always viewed him in the same vein that people view, like, to me, and this might sound rough, but to me, he was always like the Christian Wood of shooting guards. That guy that's super young. He looks good on bad teams, high volume, inefficient, but not a great defender and
Right.
doesn't really impact winning teams. But KPJ, he's been better than advertised. So the real question is, will that stick as he just gets blocked? Oh, Russ! It's a lot of missed layups in this one so far.
There has
oh my
been.
lord!
There has been. Look at that. That's where Russ shows a little bit of signs of his age. Like, still has the quickness. He got some hop, but he didn't have the hop nowhere near the hop he had like 2 or 3 years ago. That's a dunk, not a missed layup.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Bucks might have to call a timeout here. I didn't like that take by Porter Jr. I thought the paint was too crowded to be trying that.
Right.
Here we go. Give it to Kuzma. That's the Kuzma I don't like. I don't need you taking step backs. You're not good at them. Where's Patrick Ewing when I need him? Do you practice that shot? Do you work on that shot? Oh my goodness, Russ.
So this is the other side of the older version of Russell Westbrook, where there's the good, the energy, and then there's the bad, not being able to finish at the basket consistently, and stuff like what we just saw, which was horrible. That's going to be on Shaq and the Fool next week.
Yeah, and that that 3 by KPJ is kind of what I was referencing earlier. He didn't. Oh, Sims, just go up with that. Russ went up in the air. You just kind of got to take that up. Worst case scenario, Russ comes right down on top of you and you get 2.
Right, you get 2.
No, yeah, let's say that's kind of what I was talking about earlier with KPJ, though. He didn't hesitate. He just caught it, pulled the trigger. Nothing but net. Now, I'm kind of glad that happened, though, because, like, with Kyle Kuzma, because that's the kind of stuff, because it allows me to say this, that's the stuff I want to see cut out of his game. Like, do I want to see a Kyle Kuzma step back with 20 seconds on the clock with a hand in his face? No. It's an awful shot.
I would rather Kuzma do what he did the last run the Bucks had, where he was just consistently aggressive attacking the paint. Stick to what you do best.
No, absolutely. Get downhill, attack the basket. Say, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. Say next week it's going to be a lot of fun too. We're going to have one, Meaty Boys. I have an anime convention. It's going to be a great time. So
you felt like you got a lot to do this coming week. You're going to be busy, partner. You're going to have fun.
Yeah, like I said, Friday, normally at the anime convention, I'll do the morning show. After morning show, I'll go to the convention till like 6 or 7. Normally, that's around when I leave. And Saturday's the big day. Saturday's the day where I'll be there till like 3 a.m.
I got you. So
they have
no, go ahead.
I'll say they have like a rave and they have karaoke that goes until all hours of the night. So
at the anime conventions, do they have the option to just wear whatever they want, or do they come and dressed up in different costumes or outfits? Or
yeah, you can wear whatever you want. What's really fun about it too is one other reason I like Saturday is they have like the costume like contest where people enter to show off their costumes, and it's wild because you'll see all these guys like, yeah, I spent a couple grand and spent like over 100 hours or a couple hundred hours on my costume. Like the attention to detail in a lot of these costumes are just absolutely insane. I'm going with a couple of my friends. The one she actually she has a business making wigs for like costumes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what are some of the anime that you watch, or do you have one in particular?
When I got into anime, the first one I ever watched and fell in love with was a show called Bleach.
Yes, that's a classic. I even
Oh.
watched that before anime was like a big thing. I watched Bleach.
I actually do have a manga collection, and I have the first 48 books of Bleach. I'm hoping
Oh,
to,
wow.
get the rest of the collection eventually. There's a total of 72 books. So I still got ways to go, but I'm like halfway there.
That's dope.
Attack on Titan. I loved Attack on Titan. Sword Art Online was a fantastic one.
Yeah, I've literally only watched the first episode of Attack on Titan, and so my daughter is like, because you see what you see. So I'm watching the first episode, and if you've seen it, you know how crazy that first episode is. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, am I being weird for asking why these giants are walking around naked, eating people like chicken? Like, I was like, what's that all about? Like, she's like, Dad, you gotta watch the story. I was like, I'm just speaking of what I'm seeing. They look sleepy and they're walking around eating people like pieces of chicken.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It caught me off guard at first too. Like I was like, this is kind of weird, but
Yeah, it was because it was really violent and weird at the same time, right?
yeah, no, I got a couple. I'm actually thinking about watching next Kuroko no Basket. It's actually a basketball anime, so I
My
thought
daughter
about,
watched that one too.
doing that one next. I've heard a lot of great things about it, but I've never gotten around to watching it. As Julian Strother drains a three. Yeah, here we go. Great pass by Giannis. I think one thing that's really helped Giannis this year is he's a lot less predictable with his shots.
Agreed.
Like last year and just in general with Giannis, one of the big problems you have is when he's going to pull up, he'd always like look down at the ball and really just choreograph his shot, and tell you what's coming. But he hasn't been doing that this year.
Good steal. Okay.
That's what's killing us right there. Turnovers 9. Oh, what are we doing? Attention to detail, gentlemen. Come on now.
You better make that. Yeah, you better make that. Because if not, you literally was wide open. You could attack the basket.
That midi is going to extend Giannis's career by years.
Oh, 100%. And he's only getting better at it. I mean, it's becoming automatic.
Yeah, no, he's been right up there with the elite mid-range shooters this year. Oh.
Yeah. I don't like that shot by Aaron Gordon. You don't want that.
Hey, listen, Aaron, take a couple more of those for me, man. Not that. Don't take that. Great ball movement and great quarter 3 for Aaron Gordon. That's the kind of shot you want Aaron Gordon taking.
Yeah, that's the problem. If you're a Nuggets fan, you don't want that. He made it, but if you're the defense, you're going to give him that.
Yeah, absolutely. I still find Giannis really funny in the sense that he's developing this mid-range and he's getting better at shooting jumpers, but somehow at the same time getting worse at shooting free throws. Like at this point, you can just tell with him that's just all mental.
It is. It is weird, like you said. He's improved his range on his jump shot, but not gotten better as a free throw shooter, which obviously isn't a contested shot. So it's a mental thing for sure.
And the thing with the Giannis is for his career, he's a 69% free throw shooter. So, and like this year, he's at 55%. So it's weird watching him like just get so much better as a shooter, but then at the same time, just regrets as a free throw shooter.
This is where the Nuggets get hurt at. I just think when they go to that thin bench, you literally don't know what you're going to get night from night.
Great kick out. Giannis draws the double, kicks it out to Gary Trent for 3. Great hands by Gary Trent. Come on, Prince. Dang it. Oh, here we go. Oh, no. You know what? Great finish by Christian Braun. That's just a very strong and athletic take. Oh. Post fade. Oh, here we go. Aaron Gordon just going to easily. Oh, wow. He missed that. Oh, okay. Jokic cleans it up. I thought that was going to be an easy finish for Aaron Gordon, just with Damian Lillard being the guy in front of him.
Right. Look, give Dame credit. He got in his way just enough to disrupt him, but Joker was there to clean it up.
This is my problem sometimes with the Bucks offense right here. I get it. Giannis is a force of nature, but like, do we really think that post-ups on Aaron Gordon, the Nuggets' best defender, is really the best way to generate offense here? Like, I feel like we should, try to bring Jokic into actions and get Christian Braun, who's a good defender, but he's smaller. See if we can get him switched onto like Brook or Giannis. And I just don't think that going possession after possession after Aaron Gordon is a good idea. And this offense is completely stagnant right now.
Oh, no doubt. $55-50 Nuggets, still a good game. I just think that you made a great point. Sometimes the Bucks can be a little too Giannis centric. Swing the ball, maybe run some screen and roll with Dame. I just think you have other options on the floor just to give Giannis a break too. Because look, can Giannis score on Aaron Gordon? Absolutely. But is Aaron Gordon, I would say he's as strong as Giannis. I mean, he's not as tall, but you can tell he's a bigger body. So posting him up, he can be effective against him, but I think it also can become stagnant.
Yeah, and like Aaron Gordon's going to make Giannis work. It's not an easy task to score on him. He can, but it's not easy.
Right.
So, just let's get back to swinging the rock. Let's, get downhill. Let's get back to finding Jokic and attacking him. And like, there's ways to beat this Nuggets defense. And right now we're literally just picking the worst way to do it.
And so I think because the Nuggets have slowed the Bucks down and made it more of a grind offensively, more half court. This is where you do miss the services of Chris Middleton in the half court because of his ball handling, his passing, and his ability to step into it and make timely shots.
No, absolutely. It's frustrating watching what we're doing right now, too, because it's like giving me flashbacks to the 2022 playoffs when it was just Giannis like isoing on Al Horford and all these great defenders. But at least during that series, I could be like, yeah, Giannis doesn't really have a second option to go to right now because Drew Holiday was thinking up the joint in that series. It's like, dude, like Dame's on the court. You can get Kuzma downhill. Like Brook isn't just coming off of back surgery. Like he's there. Like, we have options here. Let's, start using some more of them. Say, run some more Damon Brook pick and rolls or Damon Giannis.
Or even run a pin down for Gary Trent. Gary Trent is a really good catch and shooter when he can get his legs up under him and can just raise up. I like him as a catch and shoot guy.
No, absolutely. I heard a rumor that the worst marriage almost happened when it comes to player and coach. I saw the report, Mo, that it was if they would have known he was available, the Knicks would have sent every single one of their picks or close to it for Joel Embiid this past summer. And
Really?
my first thought was, oh my lord, I can't even imagine Joel and Tibbs, because imagine Tibbs trying to play Joel like 40 minutes a night.
Yeah, that wouldn't work. That, you know what? Sometimes it's the moves you don't make. That was a good move for the Knicks not to have made. Good for them.
No, absolutely. Because oh my goodness, Brooke, I don't need that. Brooke, there's a whole shot clock to be used. I don't need the first 27-footer available. Oh, that Porter with a clean look. We're lucky that didn't go. Yeah, I'm just imagining with Brooke and Tibbs though, like, I mean, I feel like Tibbs would have like Embiid's like body just completely fried by week 2.
Well, the bad thing is Embiid's body is usually fried even before that. You add Tibbs to the equation where he wants his starters playing 36, 37 minutes. Embiid is not cut for that. He's just not. Like I said, that would have been a horrible move. It would not have worked. Knicks fans would have cheered it initially, but when they actually saw it on the floor, they would have been very upset.
No, absolutely. Here we go. Here comes Jokic getting downhill on Taurean. Oh, late double, but Christian Braun's going to get an open 3, and that's off. That's all right. You know what? With the way Jokic is shooting right now, I'll chance a Christian Braun 3.
Yeah, right. I got you.
Oh, ripped. Okay.
That was a good pass, though.
Yeah, see, and that's the Kuzma I like. Again, he caught it and he immediately attacked and got aggressive. I thought Giannis was going to shoot that. I was like, no, you're not. Here comes Dame working Braun. Got a clean look, but he just put it short. That's a great move by him. Nope. Great way to go up vertical, Kuzma. That was good.
Dame is looking to get a foul. I thought he got fouled.
Dame's putting some good moves on here.
Nuggets has just been hitting the boards really well. I'll give them credit.
I will say the Bucks are getting a little lucky on some of these. Playing a dangerous game, leaving Michael Porter Jr. that wide open.
He's gotten 2 really clean looks from 3. His shot's just off so far.
Step back. Okay, well, we're going into halftime. 3-point game. Denver is up 3.
All right, if you're a fan, entertaining first half for sure. I think this game is going to go down to I hope it does, because that's the kind of game I'm looking forward to, a close down to the wire, 1-possession game. I'm here for it.
No, absolutely. Like I said, I'm loving what I'm. I think the defense is holding up just fine. I think at times the Bucks just got to execute better, but mainly just more energy. We can't be getting beat on the boards every time.
I agree.
Oh, here we go. Yep. The Nuggets, it looks like the Magic offense has fallen apart again. Let's see.
And your Bucks have to do a better job shooting the 3 too. I mean they're 5 for 19 from 3. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge come playoff time where we got athletic and quicker in transition, more switchable on D, but I think our half court offense definitely got worse at the trade deadline. Oof, yeah. Orlando is now losing 99-89.
Wow. Okay.
Say they were cooking it. Oh yeah, they've been outscored 47-21 in the second half of this game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Franz and Paulo are it's almost like it's the same problem as you see kind of every time, right? I'll go.
Where's
go back.
Right.
Huh?
Well, look. I mean, I was just looking at the score. Steph's got 43. Damn.
Like Franz and Paulo are, they have 28 and 23, but after that, it's really slim pickings.
Yeah, the thing about them, like you said, those two guys are terrific, but they don't get much from their guards. Cole Anthony can score, and he goes through these hot streaks where he looks almost unguardable, and then he kind of goes through the cold streaks where he's anything but unguardable. And I thought when they added KCP, I was like, okay, he doesn't have to be a big scorer, but from KCP, he's going to give you a floor spacer, and he's going to be an elite defender. He's been good on defense, but he's been ineffective on offense. Like he's not shooting a three at all like he normally does. Like he's been struggling from behind the arc all season.
I think maybe one of the guys too that's really killing the Magic that I don't think's getting enough attention is Wendell Carter. Like his 3-point, he was never a great rim protector, so a lot of his value was just tied into his shooting. But his shooting just hasn't been there this year. He's shooting 20% from downtown. So,
Wow.
like a Wendell Carter that can't space the floor is not a very good basketball player because he's never been a defensive guy. So if his offense is off, that's just kind of it for him. He's there to grab rebounds if there's a miss.
Yeah, I'm impressed with that the Warriors were able to lock up and clamp down defensively the way they have. Like, and look, this has been a Steph Curry show. Steph's got 43 points. That's crazy. And he's shooting 9 for 13 from 3.
Yeah, Steph, when he gets hot, he's just an absolutely special talent. There's no denying that. We got,
and as you pointed out in the first half, they can't stop Quentin Post.
Say we got Dallas and Charlotte going back and forth, 25-20. Leading scorer for the Mavericks, Moses Brown.
I'm gonna say that's not gonna hold up.
No, but you know what? Honestly, they could probably run the offense through Moses Brown and it'd probably work because the Hornets just are not looking great offensively, it seems. Their bench is actually like scoring pretty well here. We got Taj and Diabate. They're both 2 of 2. The problem is you have like Miles Bridges and Nick Smith in the lineup combining for 1 of 9. And Mark Williams is 0 of 3. So those 3 combined are like 1 of 12, and that's just nuking their offense right now.
Is Kyrie playing?
Oh, yeah. He has 5.
I mean, see, that's the thing. Kyrie's got 5 now, but come on. I have to assume at some point that 5 will turn into 25 or 30.
Yeah, if you're the Hornets, you kind of got to bury them when Kyrie gets off to a slow start. But the problem is they've started even slower. So
Correct.
Sam. I'd say I'm loving watching. I do love watching Jokic. Obviously, I don't want to see him dominate against my team, but he's been absolutely fantastic this first half.
The Joker doesn't disappoint. I think he can wake up, fall out of bed, and have a triple-double. Even this game right now, 18 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He's going to get another triple double.
Yeah, no, Brooks doing his best to try to stay in front of him, and Jokic might not be quick, but he's just so skilled and slippery. Like, he's got such amazing footwork, and finish with either hand. He can go either directions. Got a bevy of moves and fakes. Telling you right now, when it's all said and done, Jokic is going to be in the topic for the greatest offensive player that we've ever seen. He's going to be in that conversation if he's not already there.
I think he'll be in that conversation. Look, when you start talking about the best of the greatest, we're going to look at your numbers. We're going to look what you did. And we're definitely going to look at what you did in the postseason. He's already got a title under his belt. But I think guys like Jokic and Giannis, they're looking for that second title to, to really like rubber stamp their careers. And I'm not saying stop at 2. I'm just saying the next step for them is to win that second title.
No, that's fair enough. For me, when you can lose, like, it's kind of like how everybody was really impressed by that Steve Nash year when he lost Amari and still led a top 2 offense.
Right.
For me, Jokic's year like that was definitely 02 when he lost both Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and still led a top 7 offense with a bunch of guys that aren't even in the league anymore. It just kind of went to show just how much of a Jokic boost these guys really get. Say Will Barton averaging 15 a game was the fakest thing you'll ever see. Like, watching this man. Freaky. Yeah, and it's just like, dude, this man's not this good. No way this holds up. And then he goes to the Wizards and he shoots less than 40% from the field. I'm like, yeah. Oh my goodness, Curry. Oh.
And there's still 6 minutes left in that game. Like, I know they're up, but Steph is heading towards a 50 burger if they haven't taken him out.
I wouldn't think they'd take him out yet because last time I checked, it was only a 10-point game. So I'm guessing he's still hanging in there.
Well, then he's a couple of threes away from hitting 50. What time does the Elimination Chamber start? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I think it's like 4 or 5.
Okay. I'm excited for that too.
Yeah, me too. 6 p.m. Central.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the chamber. I can't wait to see, Cody answer The Rock and just the rest of the WrestleMania card shape up. I think.
Let me ask you this, partner. Didn't you find it interesting that Cody, when he responds to The Rock, it's not till after the final match? Don't you think that's intriguing? Like, I feel like that means something big is going to happen.
Yeah, if they're waiting till after the final match, then The Rock has his guy, and I don't think it's going to be Cody.
Right. I think that him meeting with Cody in the center of the ring, waiting for Cody's answer, is anticlimactic. I think it's more about, I guess, them. I don't know if I'm right, but them maybe beating Cody down, right? Attacking him some sort of way. And maybe Gene's right. Maybe The Rock's like, yeah, so you're not going to be the corporate champion. This is what we're going to do. And they attack Cody. They come out with their own ref, right? CM Punk comes out. That'll blow everybody's mind, right?
You know what? I'm going to say this, though. People are saying if it's Drew, talking about Drew McIntyre being the corporate champion. Mo, if it's Drew McIntyre, and if they actually do go ahead and do Cody versus Drew at Mania, I think at that point they're going to double swerve us. I think that, maybe if they do go Cody versus Drew, Drew attacks Cody, says, oh, I'm The Rock's guy. They have this, whole feud going into WrestleMania. Something tells me that if it is Drew McIntyre, then they're just swerving the crap out of us. And then at WrestleMania, it'll be revealed that Cody's been The Rock's guy this entire time. And they drug us for like an extra 4 weeks and just waited on the grand reveal.
that's the crazy part about this is that initially when you saw The Rock and Cody and saw the conversation, you're thinking, okay, Cody's gonna flip. He's gonna do a heel turn, which would be awesome, by the way. And he act like he's a no, but he's gonna be a yes. And I thought it was interesting when Seth Rollins came out and they had a conversation on, was it Raw or SmackDown, where Rollins was like, "Don't make me hate you," right? Like, don't make me not like you or hate you. And I thought the way he said that, it's too easy for it to be Cody. So then I started thinking what Triple H and creative have done in a terrific way is they've set up this like it's a murder mystery, and you're like, well, Cody's the obvious suspect, but there's CM Punk, there's Drew McIntyre, and I'll throw it out there. How do I know that it is not Seth Rollins? How do I know that? I don't know that. Would that not blow everybody's mind that the guy that's like, Mr. Purity, Mr. Company Man, that Seth goes, nah, I'm tired of waiting for being in main events. I've done a lot, sacrificed a lot. I'm going to be the Rock's guy. I'm just saying.
I think, and the funny part is, I still think that this could be a WrestleMania reveal. Like, I wouldn't put it past, Triple H and The Rock to set it up so they throw a red herring, right? Whoever wins the chamber is The Rock's guy until Mania, and then they swerve us again at Mania, and The Rock's guy was just Cody the entire time. And this was all a ploy to make sure Cody walked out of Mania with the title. So I could see this almost still accumulating at Mania with Cody being the guy.
Yeah, I'm excited because I think that no matter who it is, they're going to be branch off storylines, because whenever there's been a quote unquote corporate champion, there's been a couple of other stars who went the corporate route with him. Maybe not top stars, but recognizable names that you and I were joking about would be basically Cody's lackey, right?
Yeah.
The guys that take the beatings, more or less, right? Or interfere in matches.
Yeah, and it's funny because Cody being a heel corporate champion, I almost think would be a great story for the summer. Because then I think it sets up three main feuds for him. First feud you go to, I think, Rollins, Cody.
Oh, yeah.
After he dispatches Rollins, I think SummerSlam, you set up Cody versus Roman the third. And then I think you top off his title reign with Cena versus Cody. And, Cena gets his big win and, wins number 17 by dethroning the corporate champion.
That would make for a great storyline.
Yeah, and you know what? I think if you are actually going to do, Rock and Roman at WrestleMania 42, if that storyline isn't dead, which I think it's a very real possibility it is, then why not have Rock come out, for example, at their Survivor Series match? Because that's where I'm guessing with my idea, that's where the match would be at Survivor Series.
Right.
Have The Rock come out and then just Roman break him in half with another spear to set up a WrestleMania 42 match.
That would be good. That would be really good. See, because I think there's still the possibility of that match happening. And I think that everybody and their moms know more than likely Roman's going to get the best of Rock. But I think that Rock might end up winning because Rock's going to have outside interference. He's gonna have an ace in the hole because this is heel Rock. So he's going to have an ace in the hole. And that ace in the hole could be Jacob Fatu.
I will say, Mo, if I'm The Rock, I wouldn't wrestle another match.
I don't think he needs to. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think he needs
to. I think if you're The Rock, like, how do you top what he did at WrestleMania 40?
You don't. Because that was
your last match, you won in the main event of WrestleMania.
Right.
And then you were part of the closure of arguably the greatest storyline in WWE history with the Bloodline and Roman's title reign. And you were part of a memorable WrestleMania moment. Like,
God, I know. Man, when I saw Taker, that was so awesome. That was so awesome.
Absolutely. And that's why if I'm The Rock, like, honestly, I really wouldn't, because I would try to think like, okay, if I come back, how do I top that? And I just don't know if you really can
I
top
don't-
what he did that weekend.
I don't think you can either. Like, it's funny because I do think Seth Rollins has a case to make the claim that he was the MVP of that weekend, but I think Rock has just a stronger claim. And I'm with you, Brett. I don't think he can top that. Not especially, let's say I don't think he can top that at this age in his career. Like, clearly he's not an everyday competitor. He's old, he's still in great shape, but he's not what he was. But being part of that storyline, being part of that amazing WrestleMania moment, I think that's your encore right there. And because you can't top that, if I'm Rock and have the ego that Rock has, I'm not going to get in the ring anymore. At least not as a competitor.
No, and I agree. Like, I don't mind him. Oh my God. Murray and Lillard trading shots to start this quarter. Okay, that was fantastic. Here we go. Christian Brown. Yep. You know what? Good job, Brooke. You know what? That's all right. Okay. Here we go.
Oh,
Hook shot short.
He short armed it. Yeah.
Say, love trying to get into your bag with the hook shot, but yeah, I just pulled a little too, needed a little more on that one. I love how we're talking about Wauwatosa. It's a city in Wisconsin. It's just absolutely terrific. Oh, here. Oh. Here we go. Swings it over to Dame. Little triple threat action. Gets by.
Good pass. Good pass.
Come on, Brooke. Pay him off. Good board.
Yeah, I don't know what that was, Kuzma. You got to shoot that. Yeah. Nope. He's just not a good 3-point shooter.
Oh, Kuzma?
Yeah, he's just not. He's not. And that was my reluctance. What happens if you make it half court, but you can give him that space because he's not a consistent shooter.
That's why it drove me crazy when, like, the trade happened, and Bucks fans were like, and there's some fans that were like, well, Chris is only a slightly better shooter than Kuzma. I'm like, when?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Nice shot.
Like, even like a banged up version of Chris on 2 bad ankles is a better shooter than Kyle Kuzma.
I think he's a better player still. Even this version of him. Kuzma gives them an element of speed, but he's being reckless because he's trying to force going to the hole because his jump shot's not falling.
Yeah, that was not good. Good job, Brooke.
Michael Porter Jr. is one of those players that I think he could be a part of your team, but I think everybody really had him on track to go to another level, and it just never happened.
I think the big problem with MPJ is a lot of people just assumed that, they always think you see like a 6'10" shooter like Porter Jr. and you go, if you could just add an ISO game, like just another element of scoring, he's got this. And I think a lot of people just don't realize, like, not every big scorer has it in them to just develop an ISO game like that.
This is facts. He is, to me, I look at Porter Jr. and he's a watered down version of Rashard Lewis.
Yeah,
he's a jump shooter.
No, that's absolutely fair, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, develop an ISO game and he can be mellow. Like,
what?
You could. I remember like seeing a lot of like comps like that coming out of the draft. I'm like, you can normally tell if a guy is a scorer or not. Like, there's not a lot of guys that go from pure like spot up to like, and like just movement shooting to all of a sudden becoming a really good ISO player.
Right. Yeah,
Like
if it's
Melo
not already
showed-
in your bag.
Right. Like Melo showed the signs. Like Michael Porter, I didn't think showed a lot of creation signs when he was coming up through the ranks there. You know, when I tried to watch a little bit of him after he got drafted.
Right. I watch him now, and really, he's closer to like the past his prime Melo, who was just a jump shooter.
I would love to see Porter Jr. Like, if there's a team though, I would be willing to take a chance on him. Like, I think Porter Jr. is the kind of guy that someone like the Orlando Magic would absolutely need.
100%. If he think about all the open looks he would get playing off of Paolo and Franz.
Yeah, say it. There we go. Say, and not to mention too, you know, they still got, you know, Suggs. He was showing some improvement kind of out of the pick and roll to help create opportunities for others, you know, in the injury.
Right.
You know, he'll never be an ISO scorer, but he was showing some good development out of like pick and roll and pick and pop. So yeah, I think if, you know, Porter Jr. would, you know, if they ever wanted to move on from him, if there's a team that's, you know, willing to take a chance or should be willing to take a chance on him, I think it's just straight up Orlando.
And I think it would be a good fit too. I like that fit for him. Although, look, the Nuggets don't have a lot of shooting, and that's one of their weaknesses. So unless they're going to upgrade, they kind of need Porter.
No, that's fair. That's almost the challenge. Like, I think at some point they'll want to move on from him just because he is, you know, making the max. And I think the money might cause them to try to move on from him. But yeah, the Nuggets don't have a lot of consistent shooting either, so they might be stuck with him.
Right. I think you're the one that brought up the point to me that at some point they're gonna have to either let off of him or Aaron Gordon. And even though Aaron Gordon's not a better shooter, I think he's a better basketball player.
No, absolutely. There we go. Yeah. That can't really do, but that's a good cut by Aaron Gordon. Let's see. Here comes
For three? Okay.
Giannis.
Okay, Giannis. For three?
He didn't even hesitate. He just pulled it.
He did. He went right into his shot. Okay.
You know what? We might be in store for like the greatest Giannis quarter we've ever seen if he's doing that.
I mean, he's gonna pull from three, yes.
Uh-oh. He wants to get down. Oh, he's feeling it.
Nice. No foul.
No foul.
Wow. Okay.
I thought he was gonna get that, honestly. I thought he was gonna finish that one.
Terrible pass. Well,
Well,
he gets a bunny.
there it is.
Timeout.
Yeah, that's just a bad pass. Like,
It was. Mike Malone will do some yelling now.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, even on the instant replay, he went right into his shot with no hesitation.
That's when I don't mind Giannis shooting threes. Genuinely, like last year, I hated it because he'd always like stop, look at the ball, then look back up, and then shoot. And I'm like, dude, just why do you have to telegraph it so bad? It's just awkward.
Right.
But we got rid of our the old shooting coach that we had, Josh Oppenheimer. Maybe the number one, you know, enemy of Milwaukee half the time. Because like Giannis used to have a pretty smooth looking jumper, then Oppenheimer came, and then all of a sudden they like had him develop that really awkward like two release jumper that just didn't work. But then now that Oppenheimer left, it's back to almost just a more fluid one motion, and he just looks more confident.
Look, I'm all for great players adding to their game so that they can extend their careers and remain great players when they're on the other side of 30. So Giannis developing that midi, that little step, look, him with the hook shot, he's got a counter move where he comes back with his left. I think you have to add those kind of things if you want to still be an elite player once you hit the other side of your 30s. Yeah,
no, absolutely. And definitely want to take a second to say thank you for everybody who's tuned in so far. Definitely appreciate everybody. So we're just hanging out, talking hoops. Would definitely love to hear your opinions or have any questions.
And don't be confused. We are, in fact, talking hoops. But in between that, we've thrown in some anime, a little wrestling. So we do a little bit of everything on Wire to Wire. We kind of try to bring you guys into a few different venues.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I finished watching a couple of documentaries on Netflix, actually. I finished watching the Aaron Rodgers Enigma. I thought that was very interesting. I think Aaron Rodgers is just a very interesting guy.
I would agree with that 100%. Like I feel like he's the kind of guy that just when you think you know him, there's a lot more to him than meets the eye. So I think that I think he is a deep thinker. I think he has a lot of different views on a lot of different things. So, and I guess when you're as great as he's been in his sport, yeah, you're going to be a little bit arrogant. But I don't know too many great quarterbacks that aren't kind of arrogant.
Well, Mo, he hit his 12th three, and he is at 54 points right now.
Oh, my bad. I missed that. So he's well over 50. Okay, Steph.
Yeah, Warriors are up 5. The Magic offense came to life a little bit, so
wait, if their offense came to life, does that mean somebody other than Franz and Paolo scored?
let me look real quick, because now all of a sudden it's 116 to 111, but oh yeah, no, Paulo's just almost at 40 now. He's at 39.
That means that he is giving Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green hell.
Yeah, say Franz is 25, Banchero 39. So those two are just they don't have that's kind of the problem with the Magic. They don't have an answer for those two, but the problem is everybody has an answer for everyone else.
Right.
I would good take by Jokic.
Okay, Joker went strong.
I would love to see, I want the Magic to get more consistent shooting, too, because, here we go. Taurean Prince.
Oh, what are you doing? He got away with that. Okay.
Yo!
There's that jump. Yeah, there's that jumper. Taurean Prince, I swear, traveled, but whatever.
It looked like it. He absolutely looked like it.
It was really funky.
It's funny because I made that prediction before his rookie year even started that Paolo Banchero would win an MVP. And
oh, that's a dunk. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
As soon as Jamal Murray's hips turned and he was going to take that bump, I was like, that's a dunk.
Giannis is just on one right now.
All right. See, this is what I mean. When Russ isn't shooting well, it's not your night to take the threes. You know what I mean? You got to know that.
No, absolutely. But he should be getting an easy one. Okay, well, Jamal Murray gets the second chance point.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of the pull-up three there by Jamal Murray, but
yeah, that was not a good shot. No.
I'm okay with transition threes if they're like corner threes, but dog, just take it to the rim.
Right. And if you're in a rhythm, Jamal Murray, I mean, that was a good pass. That was they smoked another layup. Porter Jr.'s he just smoked. Come on, man. He smoked another layup.
I will give some credit there to the Bucks rim protection. That does force a lot of guys to rush their shots. But
no doubt about it. I agree. But if you're already a guy that's not a great finisher like Porter Jr. isn't, it just makes it that much worse. Okay, Taurean Prince.
Okay, I'm gonna critique Joker there because that was just terrible effort. I know he's been off this game, but Taurean Prince all year's been like a 40% 3-point shooter and above. He's been elite all year. Joker's got to try to close out at least, because that's how you throw Prince off.
Look at Brook with the block out. Okay, that's how you do it. Nice. See, Kuzma's getting to the rim, but he's rushing his shots, his finishes. He's forcing it.
No, I absolutely agree. Good hit by Porter. Especially there was that take before that where he went up against Jokic, and it should have been a pretty easy finish because Jokic didn't even put his hands up. Kuzma just rushed himself,
and he smoked it. He's actually moving too fast. He's not playing under control. Apparently, with Michael Porter Jr., the further he gets from the basket, the better player he is.
Yeah. One concern I will say I have about Brook Lopez is that, like, normally, like in years past, that little push shot was like really automatic, and that push shot has seemed to kind of gotten away from him this year a bit. Like, he has not been as effective on those little push shots as I've seen from him in years past, it feels like.
I think Brooke has done a great job, though, of extending his career when he added a 3-point shot to his game, because he didn't come into the league like that. He came into the league as a scoring center who did most of his work on the block. So I think it's impressive that he recognized where the league was going and he wanted to be part of it. So he put in the work and extended his range.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the one thing I do love about Brook is when he's on, because of all the work, he's done in the post. He knows how to post up and score inside. He
Right.
now has range. I would just like to see him like try to get a little deeper sometimes, because he's really fallen in love with that little midi, and it's just not working for him this year.
Oh, good block.
Oh my goodness, Brook.
They're going to give you that shot all day, Aaron. And look, I'm playing the Nuggets, and I'm not trying to make him look bad. He's one of my favorite players, but I'm giving Aaron Gordon that jump shot. I'm giving it to him. If Aaron Gordon's going to score 28 or 30 points and he's going to do it with his jump shooting, then I'm going to lose.
I'm that guy in the gym when you're playing pickup and you just yell, "Let him shoot." Yeah, that's Aaron Gordon for me in this game.
Right. And that's not a knock. That's not a knock. He's a really good player. That could have been ugly, but he caught him.
Yeah, no, I'm glad Jokic caught him right there, because that could have been really bad.
Yeah, but it's not a knock. I'm an Aaron Gordon fan, but look, he's just not a really good range shooter.
Yeah, I love Brook too. Like, not only did he expand his range, but he completely like just almost, I don't want to say like learned how to play defense, but he somehow just kept getting better defensively as the years gone on. And that's normally an end where you see guys like really start to regress. But like, he went from like a pretty poor defender at times. I wouldn't even say that. He had like a negative defensive rep all the way up until his years in LA.
Agreed.
And then he comes to Milwaukee, and he just completely did a 180.
And you bring up a great point. Most guys that are on the other side of 30 and they've been in the league 12, 15 years, they don't suddenly become really good defenders. They usually go the other way. When DeAndre Jordan, I remember when he was a really terrific rim protector, but look at him at this stage in his career. I mean, he's a reserve, but he don't give you a lot of rim protection.
Mo, I have a special like thing that happens in NBA games. I call the DeAndre Jordan contest. And that's when a defender just like, there's a 3-point shooter about to shoot, and the defender just kind of stares at him really hard and like prays that he misses. To me, that's like a DeAndre Jordan contest, because like, I don't think I've seen that man contest a shot all year. It's literally just him, like, if his man catches, he's just staring him down and like throwing up a prayer, like, please miss this, because I don't want to actually move to contest this shot.
I like that. I think that's a good game. And I've watched enough of their games to go, yeah, that's a good assessment. Yeah. He kind of plays defense the way Shaq played defense late in his career. He did a lot of staring.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It was funny. We were talking about Shaq in one of my Discords I'm in, and the one guy asked, and I thought this was an interesting question. How would like 2000 Shaq be in today's pace and space game? And I was like, honestly, I don't think that sounds as good as like, I don't think that sounds as amazing as people would think it would be. I think in this era, like Lakers at his absolute heaviest Shaq, do I think he would get buckets? Absolutely.
Yeah, he would.
But I think, defensively, that's just an absolute nightmare. And with, players now way more willing to flop, I almost think that the idea of Shaq, like prime Shaq 2000s in today's game, is one of those ideas that's just better in theory because I think the almost actuality of it would be fun still, but it wouldn't be as fun as a lot of people would think.
I would rather have 1994, 95 Shaq, and you put him in this era. That's not the most polished version, but that's by far the most athletic version of Shaq, the skinniest version. If you want to call that was the 288, 290 Shaq, lean, incredibly freakish athlete. Like, I think he would be much better. That version of him would be much better in today's game.
And it's funny because that's what I said. I was like, honestly, I wouldn't transport 2000 Shaq to this NBA. I'd do Magic Shaq.
Yeah.
Because I think once you get into like the 2000s, I think that version of Shaq is probably actually pretty terrible for the modern NBA. He's almost.
No, go ahead.
I'd say he's just almost like the perfect product for his time.
I agree. No doubt. I had a really good player comp that just hit me. If you were going to player comp Scotty Barnes, it just came to me who Scotty Barnes is as a player. Scotty Barnes is a more athletic version of Ron Artest.
Okay.
He plays just like Ron. Think about what he does. Scotty really doesn't break you down off the dribble. He crab dribbles and gets his body into yours, and then he just bully balls you to the rim because he's easily, outside of LeBron James, the biggest wing player in the. Maybe Paolo is as big, but other than those two, he just bully balls you. He's Ron Artest, but more athletic and quicker.
I will say when it comes to, if we're talking about players who I'd love to see like in the modern NBA, I think number one on that list, Mo, for me will always just be Kevin Garnett. I just feel like he'd be the perfect player for this new era. Give me like 04 MVP Kevin Garnett in the pace and space era.
You're talking about the kid in Minnesota. You take that guy in this era, I actually think he'd be a better player in this era than he was in his era. And I think that he would spend a lot of time. I don't know if he would like it or not, but I think he would spend as much time at the 5 as he would the 4.
I always love when people talk about Kevin Garnett because I think there's this misconception that I think there's this like misconception almost that all because that you can shoot a deep 2, you can shoot a 3, and I don't think that's the case because everyone's like, yo, KG left so many points on the board, he just had to take a step back, but in all reality, he shot like 48% between 20 and 22 feet, but 28% behind the line. So that's not always the case as, hey, I just take a step back. Like some guys just aren't really built to shoot the 3 ball.
I agree.
And Kevin Garnett like could occasionally, but he's not a guy who wanted to consistently shoot it.
Look, for all the things he did, you're talking about a 6'11" guy who could effectively shoot the ball from 16, 17 feet away. But no, he didn't shoot the 3. I've seen him make some, but he didn't make enough to where he was an effective, consistent 3-point shooter. What made him effective was his length. He had a face-up game, a post game, and he was a terrific passer. And then you go down on the other end of the floor, and he's an elite defender.
Yeah, and that's the part that I would love to see, like Kevin Garnett with the completely spaced out floor on a face-up. Like that would be absolutely amazing.
Give me prime. I'll give you a matchup. Give me prime Draymond going up against prime KD or KG. I think KG give Draymond the business.
Oh, good hit by Gary Trent.
Yeah, Russ is playing out of control tonight. This might be one of those nights where Mike Malone might have to give him an early hook. He a little wild.
Oh, there you go.
Look.
That was good right there. Get downhill and then go find someone.
That's good, Russ. You just saw bad Russ, and he's a great player, but at this stage of his career, there is like this blend of good Russ, bad Russ.
So it's so funny to me too with Oh, good finish by Strother. That was a good take. I will say though, half the time, like, oh god, Dame. Say Brook and Dame to me is interesting too because I think Brook's probably like the best offensive like center that he's ever played with because I count LaMarcus Aldridge as a power forward.
Okay, that's me too.
Like when we were talking about guys like Nurkic, etc. Oh, great pass! Kuzma just wasn't expecting it. Like Brook's the best like offensive weapon at the center position. I think Dame's ever played with. But it's funny because Dame almost plays like better with harder screeners and just more athletic centers. Like the chemistry between them is just off sometimes.
Right.
And I think it's just because he's used to playing with. I don't think he's used to playing more with rollers, like Yusuf Nurkic, and Brook likes to pop more. So
right. You know what though? Nurkic is, for all his talent, is such a waste of talent. Nurkic is an underachiever.
Travel. Okay.
People won't remember this. You probably will. There was a time when Nurkic and Jokic was on the Nuggets at the same time, and they weren't sure who they were going to keep. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they initially thought Nurkic was the better player. They literally had internal conversations like that. It's weird to say. I mean, obviously, Joker's the best player in basketball, and Nurkic is kind of faded to black. But it's crazy because if you look at, I'm talking about his talent and his skill set. Everything says Nurkic should be at least an all-star caliber player.
Yeah, and you know what's like that opens up an interesting what if Jokic goes to Portland and we have Dame Jokic? Does Dame have a title?
Well, I'll tell you this: if you have Dame Jokic, he never leaves Portland. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
If you have Dame Jokic, Dame never plays with Giannis.
I would say, and I think, and I love the story of how there was like an analytics like staffer that ended up convincing them that Jokic was the answer.
Right.
It was an interesting story I saw where it was, he walked in and he put two, how people compare stats side by side.
Right.
Well, that's what he did, and he put two stats side by side, and everyone thought, oh, the one's Jokic and one's Nurkic. But the real compared stats were one was early career Larry Bird, and the other was early career Nikola Jokic.
Right.
And apparently they kind of helped them, see the trajectory that Jokic was, going towards. And that was the story. That was one of the stories on how they eventually chose Jokic. It's one of their analytics department guys are just like, hey, pick a player. Oh yeah, one's Jokic and one's Bird. So keep this guy.
I love that. And that's literally the best decision in Nuggets history.
Yeah. Say, that would have been looked on, sometimes the best move is the one you don't make, just like the Warriors almost trading Steph to Milwaukee. But they're happy they didn't.
And I'm sure if you're a Maverick fan, maybe you're thinking the same thing. Like, Nico, you could have thought about it, but then thought like, nah, I'm going to keep Luka. I'm not doing that. You could have not done that. For the sake of Nico Harrison, and look, I think as a basketball fan, for the sake of the league, because I think it is important that I want Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively all healthy. I want Dallas to get into the postseason, and I want to see what Dallas fully manned looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting with Dallas too. I think it'll be interesting, but I think the challenge ends up being too. I know they love their they want to run Davis at the 4, which means you're running Gafford or Lively at the 5, and you're running PJ Washington at the 3.
That's a big starting lineup right there.
It's big, but you almost run into the issue of you're almost playing two non-shooters, right? Because Gafford or Lively can't shoot, and PJ Washington had people fooled because he randomly shot 48% against, not against OKC in that one playoff series.
Right.
And that was the fakest thing I've ever seen, because this guy went from like being an inconsistent to below average 3-point shooter to almost a 50% in one series. So I think the problem with that lineup and why I'm maybe not so high on it is because I think you're just going to see a lot of people, teams are just going to be like, all right, we're just going to clog the paint. PJ Washington, if you want to shoot, go for it. We're just going to make sure to blitz Kyrie and make sure an extra guy's chilling in the paint on AD. So I think if we're talking about Dallas, the X factor to that team, I think, is just going to be, can PJ Washington knock down his shots consistently, or will they have to find another guy to put there that can, like,
That's
maybe
a great point.
Najee Marshall in at the 3 instead?
No, I like that analysis. I think you're right, and I think you also brought up a great point. In the postseason, teams are going to take the ball out of Kyrie's hands and dare somebody else to create off the dribble.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be Anthony Davis.
You don't even realize it. I mean, because he's played well, but you look up, Giannis got 19, 16, and 5. That's crazy. I'm just saying, you don't even think it, and it's like, wow, that's why he and Joker are who they are.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I still love them talking about. I saw like an article, Mo, that Derry Bird, that made me so mad. They're talking about like how Giannis is declining. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what? Like, I think he's having the best season, arguably, of his career this year.
I don't think he's declining at all. I mean, if you're judging him on the terms of team success, their success or failure, that's not about him. He's a great player. He's a franchise player, but the other guys got to hold up their end of the bargain.
Yeah, and it's funny because, I hate to throw this out there, but Mo, like, would we be talking about Giannis in this, like, negative manner, talking about, his decline and everything if, let's say, he was a New York Knick?
No, I'm with you. I got you. No.
And that's the frustrating part. Like, the media wants to force all these guys out of every single small market, it feels like. It's like, dude, I feel like having these guys in these small markets kind of is what makes the game a lot better. Like, having the stars all spread out. But as soon as there's a star performing in a small market, it's like, oh, how do we get him to New York? How do we get him to Boston? Derry Bird!
And I think you want to – I like it that some of the best players are in small markets because they're capable of going on a run, winning a title, right? Jokic won in Denver. Giannis won with the Bucks. If all the big stars just go to the big markets, it would literally kill the smaller franchises.
Yeah.
Because smaller franchises, Brett, they rely on the fact they have to draft well, hope they get a transcendent franchise player. You guys did that. And you want to hold on to that guy like for his entire career if possible, because if Giannis walks out the door, you could be like, okay, we got to draft our next franchise. But that's easier said than done. Guys like Giannis and Joker don't fall off the tree. That's not how that works.
Right. And especially the fact that, we got so lucky in, getting him with the 15th pick. Like that, like how, like drafting somebody who's arguably going to end up being a top 10 player at pick 15, that normally doesn't happen all that often. It's even more wild in Jokic's case. Like most late second rounders, they're out of the league, within like 5 years. A lot of them don't even make it through their rookie contract.
Yeah.
But, Jokic getting into those, top 10 talks, like, is the most insane thing from a guy who was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. And credit to the Bucks coaching, not the coaching staff, but their scouting staff, that they did their due diligence and they saw something in Giannis that a lot of teams that picked ahead of y'all didn't see in him. I think the Bucks looked at him and they weren't like, oh, he's the best player in the draft right now. They looked at him like when it's all said and done, he's going to be the best player in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like they were thinking about the future and what he'll be when he's when he's finally grown into himself, gotten his man body, and developing the skills.
Yeah, no, I will give the Buck scouting team some credit because obviously we drafted Giannis. I'm guessing somebody saw something in Chris Middleton from the scouting department that got them to say, like, hey, get Middleton in this trade with the Brandon Knight deal.
Right.
It's funny because then we went on this pretty funny run where we were just drafting really good players for other teams. Like, we drafted, I think it was like Norman Powell and a lot of these guys that went on to have great, tenures with other teams. And we just kept missing in the first round. And I think our problem was we almost went like, all right, we got to find the next Giannis. So let's draft Thon Maker. Like,
oh God, I remember Thon Maker. Okay. Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. And then the picks kind of got questionable. Like in the middle, it's like, okay, you know what? We're going to take Rashad Vaughn with the 17th pick. Like, let's not take Rashad Vaughn. Like, why are we taking Rashad Vaughn? But I'll give him credit these past couple of years because they've done some good job at identifying some talent again. Obviously we drafted, we picked up AJ Green.
Right.
We made a draft night trade, for Andre Jackson Jr., who, he's been a little inconsistent lately. He's been losing a spot in the rotation after the trade because now Kuzma can, do a lot of what he does. But the fact that, he was able to make the impact he has so far for us at the 36th pick, great value. I'll take it.
Great value for the 36th pick. He's been a really good basketball player. Look, it is a science, and sometimes you nail it, and sometimes you get a Thon Maker.
Yeah. Like all Jackson has to do is figure out offense. He's just got to find a way to contribute on offense more consistently, and he'll have a starting spot.
I agree. He's already got a strong motor. He's relentless. I think he's just got to be more consistent of a shooter. And I'm not even talking about from three. I'm just talking about from the mid-range.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that was a good pass from Kevin Porter. I think what kills him a lot, it just feels like he overthinks. Like, I just want him to be more aggressive. Like, a lot of the times, too, even driving to the basket's an adventure because he won't do it. And what's funny is, like, he is, like, the biggest guy on the court half the time.
Right.
And the most athletic. And he, like, doesn't know that. Like, he'll be timid. He'll throw up floaters and hook shots. I'm like, I don't want you to throw up a hook shot. Like, I understand there's a center near the rim, but just you go up strong and you take it with all the force in the world. And there's not a lot of centers that could stop you. Say Kuzma to the line for two.
Bucks trying to get some separation. 94-87. Got a chance to go up 9.
Yeah. With a Jokic-led team and a Jokic-led offense, get all the separation you can.
I agree.
I say we've seen that a couple times in the playoffs where, no matter what you do, Jokic, when he gets in a rhythm, he can close any gap real quick. Here we go, Jamal Murray. Oh, okay. That's fine. If Julian Strawther wants to take that,
you give it to him.
Yeah, I think Strawther's played well, but a 30-foot bomb with like 6 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense. Oh, you lost the handle.
He's playing too fast. You can see it. He's playing too fast.
Yeah, that's kind of the big problem with Kuz. I will say that the one thing that we definitely did get, swapping out Kuzma for Middleton, more flexibility on defense. That's definitely one thing I've really loved about this trade. Kuzma's been locked in. He's been, really playing some elite defense ever since the deadline. He's just got to slow down on offense. Once he figures out his rhythm and pacing and everything,
right,
he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's rushing everything right now, and I don't know if that's him forcing the issue to try to prove himself, but he's definitely playing too fast.
It's a great little push shot from Gary Trent. I do like Gary Trent off the bench. I think that's been perfect for us. I've seen some Bucks fans clamor for Gary Trent to get back into the starting lineup, but that's something I will disagree with. Just because I think he's a fantastic player, but I also think that, yeah, Kuzma got hit. Yep, he got hit in the face. Ooh, he's bleeding, I think.
Oh no.
Yeah, I think they're going to review that for a flagrant, I'm guessing. I don't think it'll end up being anything. It might be. Yeah. Yeah, he's bleeding.
I mean, if they review it, they probably will call it a flagrant. I don't think it was intentional.
No.
It was just a bad attempt at a block by DeAndre Jordan, who suddenly has the reflexes of a turtle. I mean, look how he's just late and he whiffs him. He whiffs.
That's always my favorite thing when people bring up, well, Jokic should win MVP because he has like a plus minus of like 20. I'm like, have you seen DeAndre Jordan? Like, of course he has a plus minus of 20 because like he comes in and just hemorrhages points off the bat. Like, I think DeAndre Jordan deserves a roster spot. At this point in his career, I think he should deserve a roster spot till the end of time because he's a great locker room guy by all accounts.
Yeah, I agree. He is their Haslam.
He should be their Haslam. Like, at the end of the day, should DeAndre Jordan be getting minutes in a game like this? 5.7? No. He should be parked at the end of the bench. And I think that's almost like a failure on the Nuggets' part, where they just haven't gotten a better center option, which I don't think should really be that hard at this point in, Jordan's career.
Yeah, you could actually get another guy who's more of a viable rotation player than Jordan. Still keep Jordan because I'm with you. He deserves a roster spot because he is a veteran. He is a good veteran presence in the locker room. He's a pro. And in a pinch, let's just say you have a rash of injuries, he can play spot minutes.
No, absolutely.
That kid right there, I think, is talented. I don't know why the Knicks were so easy to give up on him, but I think that kid has a lot of talent.
Oh, Sims?
Yes. I'm not talking about like a star, but I'm saying like he is incredible hops. I don't know if you've seen him, but he's got hops. He's got good reflexes. He's a solid defender. I just think that he's the kind of guy that can be a really, really high level rotation piece.
It was funny when all the trades were made. First of all, great 3 by Gary Trent. Michael Malone's pissed that Murray didn't get a call on the other end. When we made the trade, though, at first, originally, people had, like, oh, who are you most excited to get in this trade? It's like Jericho Sims.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. Like, here's the thing with the Bucks, because the Nuggets are doing the same thing I almost like got mad at the Bucks for doing. And it was the refusal to have an infusion of youth. And that's one part, especially at the backup center spot. That's one thing that I've hated that the Bucks just didn't do for years. Instead, it's like, oh, who's our backup center? We can bring in a young guy to learn behind Brooke. Nah, here's Robin Lopez. All right, here's Boogie Cousins. And I'm like, I don't want these guys. I want, I probably would have been wrong with this assessment, but I remember like wanting guys like, Mo Bamba. It's not like I thought Mo Bamba or something like it was going to be a world beater, but I wanted young blood behind these vets so we can not only slowly integrate them into the rotation, but, get these vets less minutes so they're ready in the postseason.
I agree.
I know we can say that, the Bucks were unlucky the past few years because Giannis got injured. I think I can make the argument that part of the reason he gets hurt is these vets, they start running out of gas, so Giannis has to take on a bigger role as the season goes on. Then right at the end, he just can't do it anymore. He just gets hurt. So I've been waiting for us to get some youth, just guys who can absorb those regular season minutes. So, Giannis and Dame and everybody just doesn't have to, take on such a heavy load every year. So
no, I like that. I think that's the key. Look at some of the teams. Oklahoma City goes 9 or 10 deep. Memphis goes 9 or 10 deep. Like, there's a lot of teams that go really deep, and their starters are playing 32 minutes or less.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A fun question that just got asked in one of our chats, Mo. Would you take $1 million cash or flip a coin for $1 billion?
Flip a coin for 1 billion. Wait, 1 million cash, just straight out they give you cash.
Yep.
Flip a coin for a shot at $1 billion.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking that million.
Me too. I'm
taking that million.
I know the 50-50 odds are always tempting, but I'm like, dude, I know I don't even need it. Just give me the million.
Right. You give me $1 billion is amazing, but $1 million would make my life would be huge for my life. You know what I mean? For my family. So I could do a lot with $1 million, man. I'm not blowing that million on that flip. I'm not doing that. It'd be like, I know what the argument is, like, yeah, but you could win $1 billion. I could also go away with nothing. I'm good.
It's like when I watch the game shows and, like, Deal or No Deal, and it's like, or like, The Price is Right or Wheel of Fortune, and they'll just keep going up and up and up, and they'll pass on like $50,000-$60,000, and sometimes it works, but also it's just I'm also just kind of like, dude, just don't get greedy, man. Just take your 50,000 and go home.
Right. Mike Malone is still hot.
You know what? That's all right. Good hands by Murray. It's almost time for March Madness too, Mo. I'm thinking we're going to do another. I think I'm going to set up another and one March Madness bracket.
That's going to be fun.
There we go. Once again, I don't know why more players don't use pump fake in that like scenario right there. Like, pump fake, send the defender flying. Take it up for the easy two at that point.
Oh, good pass. Jesus, Kuzma.
Oh my, yeah. Say Jokic with the cornet contest attempt. Here we go. Little screen and roll action. Jokic is so nasty in that short mid range.
I think they're getting separation. Okay, they're getting some separation, and they're playing pretty good defense so far. The Bucks late. Jamal Murray's trying to get off, but they've done a good job of bottling him up. Joker makes a tough shot. Okay.
Hey, so we already got our first candidate there. Kyle said he'd fill out a bracket for and one.
Oh, I appreciate you, Kyle. That's awesome, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, no, I'm last year there was a prize, attached, and I think I'm going to do another one with a prize attached. So, I'm doing a little thinking out loud here, but I got some ideas for this year, and I'm looking forward to it.
8-point lead. Okay. Still got plenty of time left. Bucks can't take their foot off the pedal.
No. Say, this game kind of shows me, like, the games like this always remind me of why, like, I'm always so confident in Milwaukee going into the playoffs. Just because anytime there's a big game involved, Giannis just cranks his game up to another level, and I'm just so confident at that point. Like, you know what? Giannis going Mach 10? Yeah, we can beat anybody.
And I think he gets up, obviously competing against Joker, somebody that's one of his peers when you start talking about the top 5 players in the league. I get that. I get why you would get up for that guy and try to outplay him. And they haven't, neither one of them has disappointed. I mean, they played great. Giannis has got 19, 17, 8, got a block. Joker's got 28, 14, and 9. I'm just saying, these are just two terrific basketball players. And it's weird because Murray's got 18 and Dame's got 14, but they both have been generally quiet. To me, for the Bucks, has been the fact that Gary Trent has shot well. Terran Prince has shot well. Even though he hasn't shot well, Kuzma has been effective.
Huh? What the fuck? Brooke, what did you just do? No, I need to go back a second. Did this man just go behind the back and then put Jokic on a poster?
No. That's crazy.
You know what? Game over. Milwaukee's winning this one. You know what?
Look at Brooke. Look at Brooke. He's so cool about it. All right.
You know those moments where the game's not over, but you're just like, yeah, this just feels like it's destiny. Yeah, right. Brooke going behind the back and putting Jokic on a poster. Yeah. That's like shades of last year in the playoffs, Game 7, when Rudy hit that post fade over Jokic and the game wasn't over, but you're just like,
you knew it was.
Yeah, at that point you're like, yeah, no, Minnesota's doing this. Yeah, it's all over. Oh yeah, I'll take it. You can give Giannis his first foul. That's all right. Ooh. Yeah, so you got to get Jamal Murray back. It's now or never. Get Jamal Murray back in this game. You got to make your run now.
Right.
Say, if I'm Milwaukee, you want to find that balance between passive and aggressive. Don't go too quick, but what am I watching?
I think Denver's 8 for 31 from 3. I mean, they just cannot. They're not making a living out there. That's for sure. Oh,
I'm shocked that Jokic didn't pick up a technical there. Ooh, normally refs don't like to be shown up like that.
Right.
He looked like he pushed him with his off arm there. That was one of those I wouldn't have been mad if they didn't call it, but you know what? I'll take the free throws. What like possessed the Bucks to go, yeah, point forward, Brooke Lopez. Like I am bamboozled still that we're giving the ball to Brooke 35 feet away from the basket, and him and Jokic are legitimately going back and forth.
That's kind of crazy. Brooks had a terrific game though. 22 points, 9 rebounds. 4 rebounds, a block. Brooks played really well tonight. I would say he's kind of matched Joker, and if you can match Joker, it almost neutralizes him.
It's so funny because I feel like Bucks fans hate too much on Brook at times because he does have his moments where he takes he shoots a lot of threes and he does take some really questionable ones. But at the end of the day, normally Giannis hits those. But at the end of the day, he's still shooting 36% from 3. He's right at league average, which
right.
I'll take that from him.
Good still. Oh, they called a foul? Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Look at Giannis. He's thinking the same thing. Like, come on. I was close. Maybe he did. I'm gonna see it again. No. Joker shivered him with his offhand, and he lost.
Joker embellished that a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Christian Braun.
Oh, what? Oh.
Okay.
Oh. All right, Christian Braun with the sledgehammer. Oh, my goodness.
He got hops. That was quick, too. That was real quick.
Amazing. Wow. But no, it's funny because the Bucks fans will complain about things out of Brook Lopez's control, and that's the part that frustrates me. They'll be like, well, why is Brook playing 35 minutes a game? How like 35 minutes? I'm like, why are you getting mad at Brook? He's not the one who controls his own minutes.
Right.
I doubt Brook is secretly calling the shots here. Like, come on now.
Oh wow, I didn't know the Nuggets were already in the penalty. That's not good. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's brutal then. Oh, you can't foul him that far away in the penalty.
Right.
That's the problem with playing Giannis normally. Next thing you know, oh, you're in the penalty. It's a great strategy to put Giannis on the line until the Bucks are in the bonus, and then they can start getting guys like Damian Lillard to the line without an issue.
Exactly.
And like Gary Trent, because the Bucks do have some really good free throw shooters on their teams. And that good foul. Brook, don't do that. Brook, don't get a technical.
Brook is feeling himself tonight, and now Giannis is going to get a technical. Calm down, fellas. You got the lead. There's 3:30 left to play. Be smart.
Give me a different angle because you just look stupid. They're like, what did Brook do? Like, dude, he got all arm. What do you mean, what did Brook do? There we go. Yeah, I love it. I don't care that went in. Good job, guys.
That's still a tough shot.
Yeah, no, if the best shot they're gonna get is in. Yeah, there we go. We just had Browns GM confirms Deshaun Watson retore his Achilles during the recovery process. It'll be interesting to see if they go quarterback in the draft.
We talked a lot about teams that need quarterbacks. The Browns is one of those teams. They need two things. I would argue they need to draft a quarterback and they need a bridge quarterback. Yeah,
I completely agree with that. I would love to see them get like a bridge quarterback. Someone like, maybe see how much Sam Darnold would cost.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I was thinking the same thing, that because I think Darnold, he's probably looking for 50, but I'm thinking that most teams are looking to give him probably between 35 and 40.
Yeah, I think in all reality, I could see them bringing back someone like Jameis. The problem with like someone like Darnold getting 30, 40, that's not a problem for a lot of teams.
It's a problem for the Browns.
Yeah, because they're still paying Deshaun Watson an insane amount this year. I forgot how much he's due this year.
Yeah.
But he's getting paid so much that you can't afford to pay like a bridge quarterback like 30, 40 million.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. You're going to pay for a guy who's essentially, he's going to be your backup probably, and he's going to be the highest paid player on the team.
Oh, Giannis thought he got fouled. Oh,
I thought it was a foul too.
I thought so too. All right.
Jamal Murray with a euro.
Yes, say cap hit of $72 million. So you can't really do that much at quarterback.
What about, we talk about Kirk Cousins, where he could land? Could he be a bridge quarterback for the Browns, because he's not going to command what he got from the Falcons?
Yeah, I think if he gets cut, absolutely. I could see him going to the Browns.
I think that's what's going to happen too. I think he gets cut, and the Browns can sign him like one of those deals that the Steelers signed Russ with.
Yeah, considering he's already going to get paid a crap ton of money from Cleveland, so exactly. I don't think it would take too much to get him.
Right.
You're gonna, and yeah, because also take into consideration as well, like the Browns have the second pick. Second. Oh.
Kuz. Oof.
You know what? That's actually a good foul by Denver.
No, dude, the foul was good. Kuzma's shot was terrible.
Yeah. he really tried like a dream shake there. I don't even know what that was.
Look, he's not efficient tonight, but Kuzma's still been effective. I'll give him that.
That's what I've loved about him so far. Even like when the shot's not falling, he's been so good for us defensively so far that he's still making an impact. To be honest, I just need one. Carrier, good hit. At this point, I'll take it.
The Nuggets, I mean, the game is still close. They don't have to shoot a three, not right away. I mean, you still almost got 2 minutes left.
All right, so Steph ended with 56. Paulo had 41.
56. They'll be talking about that tomorrow for sure. They should.
Yeah.
They should. That, by the way,
good hit, Giannis.
Part of another conversation. The reason why the league hasn't promoted their young stars as much as they should is because 3 of your older stars are still playing at an elite level, and they're bigger names. Like, think about this. Joker and Giannis, they're not part of your younger stars. They're the established stars, but then you've got LeBron, KD, and Steph. I'm just saying, how do you promote the younger guys when the older guys are still the biggest names?
No, absolutely. And like, you know, it's like, and like LeBron's still playing at a, you know, close to, if not top 10 player in the league level. He's in probably, I would say 11 to 15. But if you tell me Bron's top 10, I would buy it. Ooh, good hit, Giannis. Say Kevin Durant, I think, he's around the same area. So when these guys are balling like they are, absolutely.
That's what I mean. It's not that I don't think you're disrespecting the younger stars. You should be glad that your older stars are still competing at a high level.
No, I completely agree.
I disagree with people that say the game's in the bad. They're not set up well. I disagree. I think they're set up to be terrific when that guard leaves, when LeBron, Steph, KD, James Harden, some of those even lesser stars like a DeRozan that are in their mid-third, when they're Jimmy Butler, when they're gone, I think the league is set up to be terrific.
Kyle says, can't they do both? Acknowledge the older stars while building up the next wave. I kind of think they are to an extent, though. I have, ESPN telling me that, SGA is the next Michael Jordan, and
they don't listen to nothing ESPN ever says.
Yeah. But I think they do to an extent.
I think they do too, but I think part of this is a blend, right? The younger stars have to go out there and take it, right? You don't get it. You don't get to be the face. It doesn't get handed to you. You just take it. There's only one guy that I think is one of the younger stars who doesn't get that appreciation, and we were talking about him earlier. It's Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I think the Tatum hate's just forced.
I don't even understand that. I just don't.
The only thing I dislike about Tatum is his nickname. I think the anomaly is better used for somebody else. I don't think that it's funny because they give Tatum they do, but then question how good the league will be after LeBron. Yeah, the second part of those conversations I don't listen to. Like, it's just stupid. Like, LeBron leaves, we're still going to have Jokic. We're probably still going to have Giannis playing at a high level for a few years. Luka, Ant-Man, Shea, like,
right,
very good hands. Like,
think about this. So then when that first guard leaves, the older guard becomes Joker and Giannis. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
they step into that older guard role, and then it's up to the younger guys to step into their role. Like, you can't make the same argument if Giannis and Joker are in their mid-30s and they're still like amongst the top 5 players. That's not nothing to do with nostalgia. That's your league. That's your younger stars not taking it away from the older stars. Take it away from them. Period. Take it away from them.
And we've seen that already happen too. Like we said earlier, like Bron's not a top 5 player anymore. The new stars have pushed him out. Kevin Durant's not a top 5 player anymore, and you could
Yeah.
argue that neither of them is a top 10 player, or they're borderline, and that's nothing to do with how good they are because they're still both elite.
Right. I don't think
Yes.
none of the three are top 10 players. I don't think none of them.
Yeah, and that's nothing to do with how good or bad they are. It's just at the end of the day, guys like Shea came along, guys like Jalen Brunson came along,
Ant-Man came along.
say Devin Booker, and all these just elite talents. I say
Don't forget,
I'm excited.
He's not playing, but Wemby's here. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think the game is in great shape.
Hey, I'm just saying, Devin Booker on the Houston Rockets is going to hit like crack in a couple of years. It's coming.
I'm just waiting for Jason Tatum to demand a trade to the Lakers. That's what I'm waiting for.
Hey, if Nico Harrison was in charge, I'm sure he'd find a way to justify it.
He would hook us up. I know. Man.
I do think the idea is hilarious that now Dallas is like the rumors of, well, they're gonna, they're interested in, getting KD on their team, and I'm just like, oh, good Lord, okay.
You don't want that. You don't want that because you've already seen KD and Kyrie as teammates. It wasn't that great an experience. I honestly think if you've got Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving playing at a high level, you really just need a really good, effective starter besides them. I don't think you need another star. I think what you need is added depth around them.
Yeah, and you know what's kind of funny? I think, Mo, like, the Suns would, they're trying to get. Oh my goodness! That's the dagger. If it wasn't over already, Giannis punching that one. Yeah, just shoot it, Porter. You know it's coming. Good hit. But they'll want to get they'll try to get Lively in the trade. They're going to try to get some of your young pieces and young centers.
For sure. You're not going to be able to keep at some point because they're going to each want more money. You're not going to be able to pay both Lively and Gabbert.
And I almost think that Kevin Durant is still an elite player, but what happens now if you're you're trading Lively and Gafford? Okay, now you've just reopened up a massive hole that you need at center.
He's still a great player, but like we just said, I don't think he's a top 10 player anymore. I don't think LeBron, of the three guys, Steph, LeBron, and KD, LeBron's probably the one you can make a case top 10 player. The other two are not. Even though Steph had a terrific night tonight, if you look at his overall season and his overall shooting splits, he didn't have a great season. He's been good, not great. And I think, remember, Durant's going to be 37. Isn't Steph going to be 36 or 37? And the numbers are there, but if you watch him play against the better teams, he can't get separation like he used to. He can't because it happens. It's just the only guy that's played the same, more or less, is LeBron, and that's because he's a physical unicorn, right? He still can. He's the biggest perimeter player I've ever seen, and as he's gotten older, what hasn't changed? He's still the biggest, one of the most athletic and strongest perimeter players in the NBA. What one guy is slowing him down if you guard him one-on-one?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And when it comes to it's funny because I think the team that would probably really have the best chance at getting Kevin Durant, at least the easiest path, is the Houston Rockets, but I think they're going to wait for Booker. I think they're going to see if they can wait that one out. Because I think in all reality, the Rockets could be like, here's some of your picks back, and you can have Kevin Durant.
Right.
And I think the Suns would consider it, getting, some of their future back for KD. But, if I'm Houston, if they're pissing off KD, I think Booker's out shortly after. And then, I want the 28-year-old. I don't want the 35-year-old.
Right. So I'm going to put on my GM hat. Oklahoma City has 100 picks, right? The same way Howie Roseman is the best GM in football. Everybody knows that Oklahoma's GM, Sam Presti, has been the best GM in the NBA. And if you look at their roster top to bottom, they have every element you need to be a championship team. So here's what I'm projecting. Anything but a run to the finals is a failure for the Oklahoma City Thunder, because you know what's going to happen. SGA is going to win MVP. Everything's going to be set up for them to go. They're not going to the finals. When they don't go to the finals, they're going to make a move, and they're going to bring Kevin Durant home to be SGA's sidekick.
And you know what? That actually sounds pretty fantastic. I think he's almost a perfect fit there. Like, I think in that trade, you know, you're probably end up losing, like, I'd say, you know, J-Dub's probably gone in that trade.
Sure, but remember, they got 1,000 picks.
Yeah.
So you might just get away with some other guys in the picks, because when I say they got 1,000 picks, I'm not exaggerating. But at worst case scenario, let's say you lose J-Dub. If you don't go to the finals this year, I don't think it's going to be because of SGA. It'll be because J-Dub disappeared in the playoffs again. And if J-Dub disappears in the playoffs again, even though he's much younger, if you can bring Durant there and you can get one title out of a Kevin Durant SGA duo, it's worth it, because they've never won anything in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, absolutely. And the funny part too is they'd still have, you know, room to make other moves, and that's the scary part. Like, you're running even if you didn't, like, you know, we can slide in, let's say we're running Shea, Dort, you know, maybe, you know, we'll slide Dort down to the 3, maybe Caruso starts, and then you're running Kevin Durant, Chet Holmgren at the 4 and 5. Like,
right. I mean, what's crazy is, though, Case and Wallace can shoot. Wiggins is a bucket. Like, they've got ballers. Like, they could maybe hold on to J-Dub and send a bunch of those guys, if you wanted to, in some of those picks. Because Phoenix, look, once you get rid of Durant, you're going to do a mini rebuild around Booker, because Booker's your guy. You said you think he might go to the Rockets. I think you might be right, but I don't think he's going to go the first year KD leaves. I think he goes maybe the year after.
See, that's what I agree. I think KD's gone this year.
Right.
I think they're going to, you know, he'll try it, and it's going to be an absolute disaster. And then that's when he's going to be like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah.
And by the way,
I think that's exactly what happens.
If we're ranking the best contracts in the NBA, you know, obviously number 1, I think, is pretty clearly Jalen Brunson. Because when I rank contracts, I don't deal with rookie contracts. I think that's kind of a cop-out. You know, I think number 1's Jalen Brunson. But number 2 just might be Aaron Wiggins. The Thunder did some Jedi mind tricks, and they got Aaron Wiggins for a really good deal. Mo, I'm telling you, 5 years, $45 million, and it's a decreasing cap hit every year.
In this NBA, for what he does for them, and mind you, Aaron Wiggins gets better every year. This is a steal. It's probably the best contract in the NBA by far.
And to make it even better, Mo, it starts $10 million this year, and then it goes down to 9, 8, 7, and 7. That last year is a club option.
That's
so
crazy.
Even if he underperforms in that 4th year, whatever, they don't even need to keep him. They'll be like, yeah, you're not staying with us. So not only did they get him on a decreasing contract, the fact that you got a club option on that 5th year, that's got to be up there. That's got to be up there as one of the best contracts in the NBA. And I would almost argue that it is if Jalen Brunson didn't, you know, give up $100 million.
Facts. Look, Sam Presti is a magician. And I will say this. I've heard Stephen A. Smith say, you've had all this talent, but you've never won a title. I'm going to have to remind Stephen A. Smith, the job of the GM is to get you the talent and put you in a position where you can win the title. Once he gets the talent there, then it goes down to the coaching and the coaching staff and the players. The GM can only get the players right. He can't make you play better. He can't make the coach better. In my mind, OKC doesn't have a title, but it's not because of Sam Presti.
And you know what's funny? You know, before we get up on out here, Mo, my favorite guy, speaking of ESPN, I found this so funny. You know how Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, they do their podcast in the free time. And I think it's awesome. You know, it's unlike, you know, Paul George doing his, you know, they're still leading the Knicks to the 3rd seed. You know, they're balling. They're still doing great. Someone took an issue with that, Mo. Our favorite guy, Kendrick Perkins, he goes, well, they shouldn't be doing that podcast. They wouldn't be doing the podcast if it was my locker room. And I'm like, Perk, you never had a locker room. What are you talking about, man?
Right. Perk, you're gonna have to let us know when you actually get a locker room, and then we can revisit this conversation. Here's the thing, I'm all for players finding different ways to create revenue for themselves, to build up their name and their brand and all those things. I'm never going to tell a player not to do that. And if you can have a podcast or do something outside of what your team does, but your team still is one of the top teams in your conference, why would I complain? I have nothing to say. And I would argue that if the Sixers were third in the East, Paul George doing a podcast would not be a conversation. It wouldn't be a topic. But the fact that they suck, there's a reason why it's a topic. And he hasn't played well, and you gave him over $200 million, and you know this, Brett. At the back end of his contract, you can't give Paul George away.
And you know what's funny? I think what also made it worse for Paul George is just how he phrased him going on a hiatus. He goes, yeah, I'm going on a hiatus so I can focus on basketball. And it just made it sound like, yeah, hey, I'm going to finally focus on my $50 million a year job, instead of my hobby. Like, I think he just phrased that so poorly in saying he was going on a hiatus. Like, if he just came out and said, yeah, I'm taking a break, see you at the end of the year, it would have been better. But him going, yeah, I want to focus on my job. Like, shouldn't you have been doing that 50 games ago?
Right. Did I miss something? Because he said something like, I want to focus on the team trying to win a championship. Like, dude, that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. You might as well keep doing the podcast. There ain't no championship. Y'all not even going to the playoffs. Don't worry about no championship. Like, you're not going to be busy in May and June. You're good. You got time. Trust me. You go ahead and do that podcast.
76ers are confident for some reason. I still love they go, Eric Gordon's out. We'll be reevaluated in 3 months. I'm like, dog, just say he's out for the season. You can reevaluate him in the first round, but you're going to be in Cancun, so why does it really matter?
Right. Come on. Chill, man. Go ahead. Shut Embiid down. Shut Paul George down. They're both not healthy. At some point, I shut Maxey down because why do I need to burn the rubber off his tires? He's young. He should be the guy you build around. And like you said, hey, get some of them L's over there so that pick can stay in the top 6, right?
Yeah, say if that pick goes to 7 or lower, it becomes OKC's.
Right. So y'all need to get some L's up on the board. You might as well go ahead and I would say tank, but truthfully, the way they're playing, they don't even have the tank. They're just going to lose anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, say that's all of our time, Mo. I think that was a ton of fun. We'll definitely have to do more watch along.
That was a blast.
Anything you want to add before we get up on out of here?
Just thank you for everybody that joined us on the watch along. Appreciate Kyle and everybody up in the chat. Make sure you check out all the great content we have at Wire to Wire Network. Check Brett and I out on a double. It's the morning show, Coffee and Sports in the Morning tomorrow. We appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I put out a couple of articles on the Wire to Wire Podcast Network website. Definitely check those out. Thank you for everybody who tuned in tonight. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you for tuning in to the And One podcast. If you like our content, you can find more on the Wire to Wire Podcast Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. Want more And One? Find it on Wire to Wire. Like and share our Facebook page. And join the And One Discord. Grab the link to join from our Facebook. Thank you for tuning in and have a